Hey guys, Jackson Snapp here. I wanted to give you a little sneak peek behind the scenes at the A Chance Worth Taking EP. Um, right here I have the project file for the title track. Let's just get started. Essentially the track has three main parts. There's the whole like intro into electro bass section, the breakdown and build, main build, and then the melodic drop section. Yeah, we'll start with the electro bass section. So, uh, intro just starts with some cymbals, kick drum, kicks high passed, the plucks are slowly coming in. Uh, After the first 8 bars, the basses start to filter in. With just a couple of the patches hitting, and then gradually more and more of the basses start coming in. And then yeah, just snare builds right into the full electro drop right here. Little tom fill there. But yeah, the bass drop is essentially, just quite a few patches. I think they're mostly made in Serum. And the idea is that it just kind of bounces around between all these different bass sounds. Other than that, we have these atmospheres kind of chilling behind in the background. I'll just solo them so you can hear. Here we go. Let's move forward here. And that's just it's just an absinthe pad. It's this Bouffant setting, and then this F minor atmosphere here. This is actually from the Virtual Riot atmosphere pack. Highly recommend that guy. Let me see. Yeah, Total Samples, Virtual Riot atmospheres. So yeah, another cool little thing is these little blips, one shots. This guy. Cool little thing about this is so it's panned a little bit to the right, but it gets sent to this reverb that's panned to the left. So essentially the blip hits on the right and then the reverb comes in on the left side. But yeah, and then we just build a snare build into the breakdown. Couple of impacts and a sub drop. Bass drone comes in, and then the supersaw chords start to filter in, and strings start to come in. The strings are actually contact session strings. Yeah. So yeah, it just starts out like a lower single note and kind of builds into these thirds, and then just kind of goes up the scale. But yeah, sub comes in, some cymbals, these little stabs here. Piano comes in, and the piano is Alicia's keys in contact. Some sweeps and synthesizer and snare roll into the melodic drop, which is right here. So yeah, just kick and ride initially. Sub bass, mid basses, supersaw chords, white noise, and absinthe pad going again, a top lead, and the piano. Um, so yeah, just eventually snares come in, and then the full plucks and everything here. Little drum fills. So yeah, and then oh yeah, this the strings come in on this final section here. Just where is it? Here we are. Yeah, and then we just snare build it back into the electro drop. Just yeah, the basses are like filtered out and just kind of gradually filter in to the full electro section again. Little tom fill there. Sometimes I like to just grab individual samples and kind of lay them out, how I want them for drum fills and whatnot. Here's another one here, a little snare build. Yeah, instead of doing the pitch automation, I just kind of drew in the MIDI, if the note's going up. Yeah, other than that, maybe go into a little bit more detail on some of the processing of the patches and all. So like the basses, the sub, we'll start there, is usually just single voiced saw wave and silent here in this case. But I'll take EQ and cut kind of everything above, say, 120 to 150. Just kind of cut that out, and it's not loading here, but typically I'll throw a waves R bass on it, just to kind of give some extra beef to like that second frequency. So say for instance the sub node is on like at 40 hertz, I would set R bass to 80 hertz just to beef that up. And then for the other bass patches, most of them pretty much get like OTT, EQ, and then like some distortion or something thrown in. With OTT, usually I just kind of tweak these 3 bars here and then set the depth to taste. It can be anywhere from like maybe 10, 15 up to 40. It's usually about the most I'll go on that. And then just kind of cutting some lows and highs. And then Fab Filter Saturn just to kind of give some excitement to the top here. This basic saturator O, great preset. Use that on a lot of patches. Yeah, so this guy here has got trash on it as well. Squealer preset. It's a very subtle preset here. Just kind of gives some extra lower end oomph. Yeah, trash is awesome. Can get a lot of cool sounds tinkering around with that plugin. But yeah, just moving on to the main drop, melodic drop. Supersaw chords, again OTT. Neutron is just kind of killing some some muddy frequencies and boosting a little bit of the highs. Saturn, again, just kind of boosting the top end. Glue compressor, little EQ, and kickstart. They're not loading here, but in between the breaks of the chords, I'll have these bounced out, reverbed saws that kind of, it's just like an audio bounce that will fill in those gaps. If you guys want, I'll do a separate tutorial on that later. But yeah, then it's just a little top lead, and then the absinthe pad, cutting out a harsh frequency here, it looks like. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you guys have any other questions or you want me to go into anything in a bit more depth, just leave a message in the comments, and I'll try to get to it. So thanks for watching.